Ron, I look at this case and I think of all the things we used to hear from the giants of the legal profession, prosecutors who always said they are prouder of the cases they didn't bring than the cases they did bring. Prosecutors who understood that just because you can get a conviction doesn't mean you should pursue it if it requires you to rely on the testimony of someone as conflicted as Michael Cohen. And so when I look at the decisions that this judge made over the course of this case, from not allowing somebody who was a commissioner from the FEC to come in and testify about their expertise working at the FEC and why they had arrived at the conclusion not to even find President Trump, must have pursued an action. And you juxtapose that with Stormy Daniels being allowed to go into that courtroom and deliver every tawdry detail imaginable, none of which had much to do with the underlying crimes. All of that seems to strike me as undeniable bias, but from a legal perspective, what does any of it actually mean?
Well, I clearly you get it and have a complete understanding of all of the folly associated with this case. But that is all because this case was brought in state court, which it never should have been in the first place. Remember, the feds passed up on any prosecution related to this. Why? Because a lot of them still have morals and ethics and don't bring cases, as you said, just to prosecute and just to convict. It's more important that we protect the law. And that's not what was done here. But here's why we have an issue bringing something like this in state court. First, we have a judge who's elected by the very same people that make up the jury that you saw in this case. The jury that heard the facts that they heard and decided to come back with a unanimous acquittal, right? The people overwhelmingly in that area that are comprised of the jury pool and the electorate wanted to see Donald Trump convicted, right? And so that judge did everything and called all of the pitches in a way that would ensure Donald Trump's conviction. It was a yellow brick road to conviction. Now, thankfully, we have appellate courts and we have federal courts that will step in. And that's going to happen principally because the judge didn't require a unanimous verdict. I believe that is the most appealable issue in this case. But this all stems from the fact that we have states acting as shot callers against federal officials. You know, that shouldn't happen.
Ron, last to you, about 30 seconds here. By most estimations, an e-felony should not result in jail time, but Donald J. Trump is not your everyday defendant. Do you believe he will get jail time? And specifically as it relates to July 11th, many have said that he will potentially get leave pending appeal. I'm of the opinion that this judge has shown us not to show restraint. Do you believe President Trump could be put behind bars on July 11th?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think there's a chance. What I could see is some sort of suspended sentence. I think Dershowitz was mentioning something like he would have like weekends in jail. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think logistically it's too difficult. We all know this is not a serious offense. Jail time shouldn't be appropriate. What I'm more concerned about are bond conditions being implemented against somebody who may be the next president of the United States. That is, those are uncharted waters, and I'm not sure how they are going to proceed.
Gonna have to leave it there. Wendy Patrick, Ron Chapman, good to see you both. God bless. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.